It's late at night, and your best friend hops up onto the couch beside you. He rests his head on your lap, looks up at you with those big, trusting eyes, and lets out a happy little sigh. And then it hits you. That smell, that warm, sour, almost fishy wave of dog breath that makes your nose wrinkle before you even realize you're pulling away. You love this dog with your whole heart, but that breath could knock the paint off the walls. So you turn your head, you give him a pat instead of the cuddle you both wanted, and you feel a little pang of guilt because he doesn't understand why you flinched. He just knows you moved away. Maybe you've tried the pet store breath sprays. Maybe you've bought the fancy dental chews that cost more than your own lunch. Maybe you've even chased him around the bathroom with a toothbrush while he looked at you like you'd betrayed the whole family. And nothing really worked. The smell always crept back. The frustration is real. The confusion is real. And that tiny bit of guilt every time you turn your face away, that's real too. But what if I told you that sour dog breath is almost never about the mouth being dirty? What if I told you it's a signal, a message your dog is sending you from deep inside his body, and that the real fix has been sitting in your kitchen this whole time? If you saw the thumbnail of this video, you saw the promise. The real reason dog breath turns sour, and how to fix it fast. Not with expensive gimmicks, not with harsh chemicals, but with simple, natural things you very likely already have in your pantry and your refrigerator right now. The secret lives in your kitchen and in one small daily routine. Stick with me, because by the end of this, you're going to understand your dog's breath better than most people ever will. Hi everyone, your neighborhood veterinarian, and welcome back to the channel. I want to tell you about a golden retriever named Biscuit who came into my clinic last spring. Sweet old boy, gentle as they come. His mom sat down across from me almost in tears, and she said, "Dr. Tony, I think I'm a bad dog mom. His breath is so bad I can hardly kiss his head anymore, and I've spent hundreds of dollars trying to fix it." And I told her exactly what I'm about to tell you. Her problem wasn't the toothbrush. Her problem was that nobody had ever explained to her what that smell actually meant. And here's the statistic that should stop you in your tracks. According to the American Veterinary Dental Society, by the age of 3, over 80%, 8 out of every 10 dogs, already show signs of active dental or oral disease. 80%. And sour breath is very often the very first warning bell, ringing long before you see a single other symptom. Most pet parents hear that bell and reach for a mint-flavored spray to cover it up. But covering up a warning bell doesn't make the fire go away. So today, my friends, we are going to do this properly. This is a complete masterclass on sour dog breath, what causes it, how to stop it fast, and how to fix it from the inside out so it doesn't come roaring back. Here's the roadmap. First, we're going to talk about the immediate, tonight-level fix to freshen that breath fast. Then we'll move into the mouth itself, what's really happening on those teeth and gums, and the gentle home care that actually works. After that, we go deeper, into the gut, because this is where most people are shocked. Then we'll talk about the hidden dangers, the times when sour breath is not a cosmetic problem at all, but an alarm about something serious. And finally, I'll give you my simple daily bowl formula so you never have to guess again. Grab a pen and a notebook, because there are going to be specific amounts and specific steps, and you'll want to get them right. And if this channel has ever helped you and your best friend, do me a small favor and hit that subscribe button so I can keep protecting more pets like yours. All right, let's dive in. Let's start with Chapter 1, the fast fix, the tonight fix. Because let's be honest, you clicked on this video partly because you want relief now. You've got a dog on your lap right this minute, and you want that smell gone. I hear you. So let's take care of the immediate problem first, and then we'll go deeper into why it happened. But what if the fastest freshener in the world was sitting in your vegetable drawer? It is. It's fresh parsley. Plain, curly, or flat leaf parsley. Here's the simple science. Parsley is naturally rich in chlorophyll. That's the green pigment in plants. And chlorophyll is a gentle, natural deodorizer. It doesn't just mask odor the way a perfume spray does. It actually helps neutralize the sulfur compounds. Those are the stinky, rotten egg-smelling molecules that make breath turn sour in the first place. It works from the inside, on the way through. Here's the exact how-to. For a small dog, finely chop about half a teaspoon of fresh parsley and mix it right into their food. For a medium dog, 1 teaspoon. For a large dog, up to 1 full tablespoon. Chop it fine so it's easy to digest. Mix it in once a day, and within a few days you'll notice the difference on their breath. Now, here's your first vet warning, and please listen closely. I said parsley. Regular garden parsley. I did not say spring parsley. Spring parsley is a completely different plant, and it is toxic to dogs. And here's another one. Skip the parsley entirely if your dog is pregnant, because in large amounts it can cause problems in pregnancy. When in doubt, small amounts, and always check with your own vet. Natural does not automatically mean harmless. That's a rule I want you to carry through this entire video. But Dr. Tony, I can already hear you saying, parsley is nice, but if my dog's breath is this bad, isn't something actually wrong in there? And you are exactly right to ask. That freshener is a patch, not a cure. So, let's move to the source. This brings me to Chapter 2, the mouth itself. Most sour breath, the everyday, day in day out kind, starts with one invisible enemy, plaque. Plaque is that soft, sticky film of bacteria that forms on the teeth every single day. You can't always see it, but it's there, and it's alive. When that plaque sits undisturbed, it hardens into tartar, that yellow-brown crust you see near the gum line. And as those bacteria feast and multiply, they release exactly those sulfur compounds we talked about. That, my friends, is a huge chunk of that sour, rotten smell. It's the smell of bacteria having a party in your dog's mouth. So how do we crash the party? Gently, naturally, without a fight. First, the gold standard. And I'll be honest with you, it's brushing. But not the way most people try it. Here's the critical secret that changes everything. You do not start with the brush. You start with your finger. For about a week, all you do is let your dog lick a tiny dab of dog-safe toothpaste off your fingertip. Make it a treat. Make it a happy moment. Then, you graduate to gently rubbing that toothpaste along the outside of the teeth with your finger. Only after your dog is comfortable and relaxed do you introduce a soft brush or a little finger brush. Slow, patient, never a wrestling match. And here is a professional vet tip that I need you to tattoo on your brain. Never, ever use human toothpaste on your dog. Human toothpaste very often contains xylitol. That's an artificial sweetener. And xylitol is extremely, dangerously toxic to dogs, even in small amounts. It can crash their blood sugar and damage the liver. Use only toothpaste made specifically for dogs. Please. This one matters more than almost anything else I'll say today. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Dr. Tony, my dog would rather eat the toothbrush than let me brush with it. I get it. Some dogs just won't allow it, and that's okay. So here's your natural backup. The right chewing does a lot of the mechanical scrubbing for you. A raw carrot, a big one your dog has to really work at, acts like a natural toothbrush, gently scraping plaque as they gnaw. There are also natural dental chews out there, but read the label, because so many are packed with sugar and fillers that make the problem worse, not better. And you can add a small amount of a vet-approved dental water additive to their bowl. Just follow the directions on the bottle exactly, and never overdo it. We're covering a lot. Grab a sip of water, because this next part is vital. This next chapter is the one nobody talks about, and it's the one that will change the way you think about your dog's breath forever. Chapter 3, the gut. Here's the part that shocks so many of my clients. Sometimes the mouth is perfectly clean, the teeth look great, and the breath is still sour. How? Because breath is not just a mouth story. Breath is a whole body story. It comes from the inside out. Let me explain the mechanism in plain words. Inside your dog's gut lives an entire community of bacteria. We call it the microbiome. Think of it as a garden. When that garden is balanced, digestion is smooth and breath is neutral. But when it's out of balance, too many of the bad bacteria, not enough of the good, food ferments and rots instead of digesting cleanly. That produces gas. And that gas doesn't just come out the back end, my friends. Some of it comes right back up and out the mouth. That's the sour, fermented, almost yeasty smell that a toothbrush will never ever fix. Because the problem was never in the mouth, it was in the gut. So how do we tend that garden? 2 simple, natural helpers you may already own. The first is plain, unsweetened yogurt with live active cultures. Those live cultures are natural probiotics, good bacteria that help crowd out the bad. The exact how-to. For a small dog, about half a teaspoon a day. For a medium dog, 1 teaspoon. For a large dog, 1 tablespoon. Stir it into the food. The second helper is plain canned pumpkin, and I mean pure pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling, because pie filling is loaded with sugar and spices that can hurt your dog. Pumpkin is rich in gentle fiber that acts like a broom, helping sweep the digestive tract clean and feeding the good bacteria. Same rough amounts, a spoonful mixed into the meal, size to your dog. Now the vet warning here, because I always tell you the whole truth. Some dogs are lactose intolerant, just like some people. If you add yogurt and you see loose stool or an upset tummy, stop and lean on the pumpkin instead. Introduce anything new slowly, a tiny bit at first, and give the gut garden a week or two to adjust. Slow and steady wins this race. But Dr. Tony, someone out there is asking, I've done all of this. The parsley, the brushing, the yogurt, the pumpkin, and the breath is still terrible. What now? I'm so glad you asked, because that brings us to the most important chapter of all. Chapter 4, When Sour Breath is a Red Flag. Please lean in for this one, because sometimes that smell is not about hygiene and not about the gut. Sometimes it's your dog's body waving a flag, trying to tell you something is wrong deep inside, and knowing these signs could genuinely save your best friend's life. Here's the first one. If your dog's breath smells sweet or fruity, almost like nail polish remover, that is not a cosmetic problem. That specific smell can be a warning sign of diabetes. Do not spray over it. Call your vet. Here's the second. If the breath smells like ammonia or urine, almost like a used litter box, that can be a warning sign of a problem with the kidneys. The kidneys filter waste out of the blood, and when they struggle, that waste can build up and show up on the breath. Again, that's a phone call, not a breath mint. And a very sour or unusually foul breath, especially when it comes along with yellowing of the eyes or gums, can point to trouble with the liver. Any of these, paired with other changes, drinking a lot more water, peeing more, losing weight, low energy, a poor appetite, or vomiting, I need you to take seriously and get to your veterinarian promptly. These home remedies are wonderful for the everyday sour breath of a healthy dog. They are not a substitute for a vet when your dog's body is sounding a real alarm. You know your dog better than anyone on this earth. If something feels off, trust that feeling. Now let me bring the temperature back down, because I don't want to scare you. I want to empower you. The vast majority of sour breath is the ordinary kind we can absolutely improve at home. So let's pull it all together. This brings me to our reality check chapter, and this is where I keep you from making the most common mistake I see. Let's recap every remedy by name. We've got fresh parsley, our fast natural freshener. We've got finger training and gentle brushing with dog-safe toothpaste, plus raw carrots and vet-approved chews for the mouth. And we've got plain yogurt and plain pumpkin for the gut garden. Now, here's what I do not want you to do. Do not read this list, get excited, and dump all of it into one giant bowl tonight, thinking more is better. If you throw parsley, a mountain of yogurt, a scoop of pumpkin, 3 carrots, and a dental additive at your dog, all at the same time, on day 1, you are not going to fix the breath. You are going to spend your evening cleaning up a very unhappy dog's very unhappy tummy off your kitchen floor. Trust me, more is not better. Consistent and gentle is better. So here's my simple daily bowl formula to make this easy. Pick one gut helper, yogurt or pumpkin, and add the right amount for your dog's size. Sprinkle in your finely chopped parsley. Serve it once a day. That's your daily bowl. Then, separately, work on the mouth as its own routine. A little finger training or brushing when you're both relaxed, and a raw carrot to chew a few times a week. Gut in the bowl, mouth as a routine. Introduce things one at a time, a few days apart, so you can see what's helping. That's it. That's the whole system. Simple enough to actually keep up with, and that's the part that matters, because consistency is what wins. Now let me step back for a second and just talk to you heart to heart. The fact that you are here, this many minutes into a video about your dog's breath, tells me everything I need to know about you. Most people would just turn their head away and live with it. You didn't. You went looking for answers. You wanted to understand what your best friend was trying to tell you, and you wanted to help him the right way, the gentle way, from the inside out. That's not a small thing. That is love. You are, Truly, one of the best pet parents in the world, and your dog is lucky to have you. So before you go, let me ask you for a few small things. If this video helped you understand your sweet dog even a little better, please tap that like button. I know it sounds small, but it genuinely helps the algorithm show this video to more worried pet parents out there, and that means together we get to protect more dogs. That like is you paying it forward. And if you're not subscribed yet, please hit subscribe so you never miss the next masterclass, because I make these for you and your best friend every single week. Then here's my one question for you, and I really do want to know. Down in the comments, tell me which remedy you're going to try first. The parsley, the pumpkin, the yogurt, or the brushing routine. Tell me your dog's name too, so I can picture who we're helping. I read every single comment on this channel, and I'll do my best to answer as many as I can. So that's it, my friends. That's the real reason dog breath turns sour, and how to fix it fast, gently, naturally, and from the inside out. Now go find your best friend.